Hey everybody, I have another variation on an unboxing video today. You may have seen I posted some pictures on Instagram when I was pouring plaster because that involves a lot of waiting, so no instant gratification. But now it's time to take the mold box off and to take the original out of the plaster mold and see how the molds turn out. So a literal unboxing. The mold boxes I make are duct tape and cardboard. They're completely disposable. They're easy to customize different sizes based on different tiles that I'm doing a mold of. I brush the inside with a little Vaseline to make it a little easier to release. And the ceramic original is glued down just with water-based glue on the bottom of the mold box. That way, if it's something small, it's not going to float up when you pour the plaster in. Obviously, that's trash. And the original is destroyed as well because, well, this is a perfect example of things that have gone slightly wrong. You can see that plaster seeped under the clay. The cardboard is not an issue. And now I peeled that cardboard away. You can see the outline here of a butterfly. These are all different butterfly sprigs in this mold, so there are 5 of them. This one's going to take a lot of finesse to clean out, so I do want to set that aside and not rush that one. But I have something a little more simple to show you, and I'll take the original out. Now, I do my casts, I make my molds when the original is bone dry. So it has not been fired, and the clay does re-moisten because it's taking moisture from the plaster. That's perfect for me because it's easier to get this out of the mold that way because it will flex and it will peel out. If it had been fired, it would be rigid and you can't pry it out because you'd risk chipping this plaster. I poured these on Wednesday. Today is Friday. The plaster is still very moist. It's going to take at least a week for these molds to cure and be dry enough to use. Now, I'm not sure if this is what everyone would do, but I know that this tile is anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 inch thick. And I know that the edges, the sides of the tile, are smooth and straight. So I can put a wooden tool, slide it down along there, and know that I'm not going to chip any part of the plaster mold, gouge any part of the plaster mold, or hurt it. What I'm hoping will happen is this. I'm hoping to get corner of the tile, the clay original, and peel it out. It's really satisfying when it comes out in big chunks. I never use anything other than a wooden tool because the plaster is still so soft and moist, and that could gouge and then damage the plaster mold itself. This one's going to take a little more TLC. And often the sculpted image that's on the tile often separates from the back end. That's what you're seeing here. That I'm able to peel out the back of the tile. There we go. That was satisfying. So then this piece lifted out. Because the plaster is still soft, I can take the wooden tool and really make sure to get a clean edge here on the top edge, which bottom edge of the tile, top edge of the mold, so that there's no plaster overhang, which would kind of be like an undercut and which would keep me from pulling tiles out of the mold easily. This is going to require a little bit more cleanup, but you can see the image there. I'm doing a series of small tiles that will be sold individually, that can be hung in a grouping, and they're all different classic witch icons. There's a crystal ball, there's a cauldron, there will be a broom, there will be part of the series with animals like an owl and a parchment scroll, or a raven and a skull. So this is a new series I'm working on in progress, and the cauldron was one of the first. So gentle cleaning of the clay out of these curlicues from the smoke from the cauldron, because I don't want to scratch the plaster. Now that the wet clay is out, I can set this aside to dry, and it'll dry a lot faster. And so maybe next week I can pull a tile and test it. We'll see how impatient I get, but I'm really excited with that. When I see a mold like this, then I think about glazing the cauldron in, a metallic pewter versus painting the cauldron with underglazes with, black with blue and cobalt blue and purple kind of streaks to indicate the iridescence of the black metal. I think about all different colors on the potion inside, from kind of apple green to pastel colors. I think the variations are endless, and I really do enjoy painting so many different variations. It changes the tile drastically. It does make them one of a kind, even though it's from the same original sculpt of mine. The mold streamlines the process, and it gives me a chance to paint different variations. So that is the kind of unboxing I'm going to be doing today. Plaster and clay really don't like each other. I have a trash bag down on my workspace to keep everything clean, so there's not plaster particles that I'm going to have to clean up off the table. If I get plaster into clay that then is going to be fired, it can pop and burn and explode and do generally unpleasant things. So for now, that's it. I'm going to keep working on the other unboxing of the other molds, and I'll post some pictures on Instagram when they're all done. So links below. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks, everybody. Maybe I'll even put my face in the video one of these days. Bye. See you later.